like when I get to like hunter rank 50, yeah. But in the meantime, like I'm not going to use my like early pink Rathian stuff right now. And then when I go out and I'm like, I must make the perfect suit of armor for myself, then I will like build. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Dex, the only Pokemon show that secretly teaches you real-world science through trivia and battle strategies. I'm Curmudgeon Alex.
I'm Kels.
What? You just earnestly growled like a kitten. What's got you so cross, Kels?
It's not even that big of a deal. I stubbed my toe, and then I ran out of gas on the way here, and then I dropped my coffee. It's all just these little tiny things, but I kept getting angrier and angrier.
It's rough. I know the feeling.
I mean, it's all over now, but it just takes a second to come down from it, you know?
Maybe this week's Pokemon can help you calm down. It's notorious for its terrible temper.
That's true. Primeape can be pretty scary when it's angry, but what does it do to blow off steam?
That's its secret.
What?
It's always angry.
Is that a Hulk reference?
Remember? 5 years ago.
Great joke, B.
Primeape, the pig monkey Pokemon, is a tough one to get along with. Anything that displeases it will set it off on an uncontrollable fit of rage, and its anger won't subside until it's chased down its enemy and beat it senseless. So it's not recommended for beginning trainers.
According to Pocket Monsters The Animation, which, if you aren't familiar, is an official novelization of the original Pokemon anime, Primeape's seek, hunt, and destroy tactics are so dangerous that their rampages were actually the reason Pokeballs were developed. And yes, though the canons are not exactly the same between the games and the anime, I really like this little tidbit of lore a lot.
If we break down Primeape to its root words, we get a pun on primate, which is the order all monkeys, apes, and lemurs fall into, but we also get the word primal, which means primitive, though it's most likely a reference to the specific phrase primal rage, which means righteous anger. And yes, that's also a video game starring white-haired gorillas on a rampage, and also, Rampage is also a video game starring gorilla on a rampage. And there's a movie based on the game Rampage, which also features a white-haired gorilla on a rampage. It's like a thing.
But physically, Primeape is much more likely to have ripped his inspiration from the male Hamadryas baboon, with its distinctive silvery hair and pink skin. Unlike most other baboon and macaque species, the social structure of the Hamadryas baboon is strictly patriarchal, and also pretty brutal. The males of this species use intimidation, threats, and violence to control harems of breeding females, and many times, male Hamadryas baboons will steal babies or kidnap females from other harems and hold them hostage during territory disputes. And they have no qualms about killing their hostages if things don't go their way.
Yeah, that's not tight, but it sounds pretty on the money for Primeape. Its Pokedex entries state that anything and everything makes it angry, and that seeing one that's peaceful either means that it's totally by itself and hasn't noticed you, or it's gotten so mad that it dropped dead, which apparently happens to them a lot.
Oh, that's no good at all. We can't have that.
What? No talking about Pokemon dying from anger? Is it bad science? Do the advertisers hate that?
No. It's nothing like that. It's that no healthy Pokemon or person or any animal should be dropping dead of anger. We've got something going on here, and I know just the girl to fix it.
What? Kels, what are you doing? Are you changing into a lab coat? Are you leak testing an anesthetic circuit? Are you pulling out the Plum's veterinary drug handbook? Are you intubating a stallion?
Welcome back. I'm Kelly, your friendly neighborhood RVT. Today we are tackling the problem of Primeape rage-induced deaths, and our first question is, what is the cause? Now, emotions on their own can't kill you, but physical effects of your emotions on your body can definitely cause changes. So what exactly does anger do to the body? When we boil it down to the basics, anger is a reactionary response by our brain to a perceived threat. Essentially, your brain has identified something that could potentially cause you harm, and before you're even aware of it, your body already starts to take action to prepare to protect yourself.
I know this one. That's a fight or flight response caused by the release of adrenaline. Primeape isn't the type to choose to run though, so you know it's gonna opt for a fight every time. An adrenaline rush causes your heart to beat faster, it increases blood pressure, and you breathe faster, which activates your muscles for a fight. It also causes your attention to narrow, so it's harder to focus on anything else. That's why Primeape's Ruby entry says that when it gets angry, it becomes stronger, but also dumber.
Exactly. In Primeape's case, it lives in a state of constant anger, which means that these normally temporary body changes actually end up being more like long-term changes. And my prime suspect for the cause of our problems is constantly high blood pressure, which is more commonly known as chronic hypertension. Now, I can't just go diagnosing every Primeape with chronic hypertension without some evidence, but we actually get some in its Ultramoon Dex entry, which tells us that the blood vessels in its brain are sturdier than those of other Pokemon, so it can stay healthy despite its constant raging. That's both good and bad info though, because while it is true that chronic hypertension would cause reactionary thickening of blood vessels, that by no means that Primeape can stay healthy like that. Over time, as the pressure builds, especially if it's in the brain, Primeape is at high risk of those vessels leaking or rupturing, and that can cause major emergencies like seizures, aneurysms, and strokes, especially during powerful bouts of anger. And the only way to avoid this is to reduce the root cause of it all, the constant rush of anger and resulting adrenaline boost.
So, as Pokemon trainers, what can we do to reduce our Primeape stress levels? One way to start is by exercising that boy all the time. Putting them on Pokeballs doesn't do them any favors, and a confined space only gives Primeape one thing to focus on: how mad it is. In fact, even something as simple as walking from one room to another when you're angry actually reduces your anger level because the energy surge you get from the adrenaline is being used by your muscles.
And as for what we can do, we know that eye contact will set a Primeape into rage mode. Most of the time, prolonged eye contact with any animal is perceived as a dominant or threatening gesture. It's saying, hey, I see you, I'm not afraid of you, and I'm waiting for you to make a move, or I'm willing to make my move. Whereas a quick glance means I know that you're there, but I'm not interested in interacting with you in a positive or negative way. We've all done this one at some point or another. But at the end of the day, if Primeape really are only happy when they're alone, maybe as trainers the best thing we can do is not catch them. I know it's been drilled into all of our brains that we've got to catch them all, but do we ever really think about the well-being of individual species? If the Primeape-human relationship is too stressful for the Primeape, maybe they belong out in the wild. Just some food for thought. Thanks for stopping in today, and we hope to see you again.
Yo, you seem like you feel better.
Yeah, I guess talking about something I'm passionate about is another way to calm my angry soul.
That worked so good that I want to try it myself.
Oh? And what better way to ignite your passions than talking about a tea? Whoa. I really lost it.
Yo, you seem like you feel better.
Yeah, I guess talking about something I'm passionate about is another way to calm my angry soul.
You know, that worked so good, I'm gonna try it myself.
Oh, and what better way to ignite your passion than talking about a team up, how to team up and take down all who oppose you in VGC 2018.
Primeape's an odd choice, but we're gonna make it happen. Battle strategies start right now.
Pokemon.
Strategies. Turns. Alright, so I sort of expected this guy to be kind of a joke in the current meta, but with its ability Defiant and a brand new item for Gen 7, the Adrenaline Orb, Primeape actually has some pretty fun strats that also go pretty well with all the animal signs we just talked about too. To get started, grab a Jolly One and EV train it in attack and speed.
The whole deal with Defiant is that whenever any of Primeape's stats get lowered by the opponent, its attack simply goes up by 2 stages. This might not seem that useful at first, but with Intimidate being as central to VGC 18 as it is, we can quickly take Primeape's base 105 attack to astronomical heights.
And speaking of Intimidate, the Adrenaline Orb actually works pretty similarly to your ability, except it only works once and it boosts your speed instead. So basically, after one little Intimidate, Primeape's ready to do some serious damage, and any extra Intimidates to come only make you even scarier, so let's get some major attacks on this set, right?
The obvious stab move to go with on this set is Close Combat, which has base 120 power, but it also drops your defense and special defense. So make sure to use it intelligently and supplement it with great coverage moves like Gunk Shot, which Primeape can now access by Move Tutor in Ultra Sun and Moon.
It's also pretty smart to run Ice Punch on this set, especially because it hard counters Landorus Therian, who's literally a ground flying type with Intimidate, and also the most popular single Pokemon in the meta. But you're also weak to its flying type attacks, so make sure and bring Protect along too.
Do all that and you might actually see a Primeape who earns its keep on a VGC 2018 team. But of course, that's not the only way to train a Primeape, so as always, here are a few random thoughts.
Pretty much everything you pick is going to be about the coverage you need to execute your larger team strategy, so if Fire, Poison, and Rock types are worrying you, maybe toss Earthquake in there somewhere instead.
Or if you're more worried about staying alive and preserving your momentum in a pinch, you can whip out a surprise U-turn and live to fight another day.
And finally, let's be honest, running Primeape on your team is kind of a risk, so if he's chilling on the field and you have no idea what to do with him, it might be good to go with Final Gambit, which feints you, but also deals damage equal to your remaining HP to your opponent. Seems pretty crazy, I know, but you'd be surprised how effective it can be mid to late game. And that's it, Primeape. Sorry we were gone for so long, but both of us got the flu. Isn't that crazy?
If you liked what you saw just now, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell or whatever it is. And if you want to watch Alex stream his way through Ultra Sun, get into VGC battling, or just whatever else he freaking wants, head on over to twitch.tv/PosseOnEA and subscribe. It's chill.
And remember, there's only 3 more episodes left in this format in the near future, so make sure and leave your suggestion for who we should do next down below. And thanks again to our Patreon folk who support us not only financially, but also like a nice Victoria's Secret underwire. Thanks for watching. I'm Curmudgeon Alex.
And I'm Pokehells. Tune in next week for another sunny, humid episode of
The Des.